Hi, and welcome to the Pilates Collective. I'm excited to bring you these videos to help you on your pathway to better posture, pain-free life, and better mobility. I'm Stacey Sharp, and I've been a Pilates teacher for 14 years, and I'm here to guide you through the foundations of your new Pilates journey. These videos are designed to take you through basic Pilates movements step by step. Through these videos, I want you to focus on connecting your mind to your body, and where possible, not to watch the videos, but simply use the guidance of my voice. This video is part of the arm series. We're going to change the tension of the springs down to 1 red, or you can work anywhere up to 2 reds. You also want to ensure your hand straps are easy to reach on the ends of the Reformer. Okay, we're going to start by just making a little bit of space between our shoulders and the shoulder blocks. So just shuffle yourself down 1 inch or so, and we're going to take hold of the straps into our hands. Take hold of the shorter loops and just allow the bigger loops to just hang behind. Shoulders nice and heavy into the carriage. Nice long reaching fingers. Let's think about connecting our abdominals before we lift our legs. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to bring one leg into tabletop and then followed by the other. Keep that collarbone nice and broad, shoulders nice and heavy. Your palms are facing towards the foot bar. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale to press those hands down to the sides of the hips. Inhale and bring them up just back in line with your shoulders. No further. We want to keep that tension in the straps. Inhale up and exhale down. Now I want you to really think about where we're connecting here as you work through these arms. We're going to keep that little finger reaching, but we're going to think about the line that connects into the back of the shoulder. We're working all the way through into that deep back part of the mid-back, keeping the collarbones broad and the shoulder blades connected. Now press those hands down to the sides of the hips and hold it there. I want you to turn your palms to face in. Keep your collarbone broad, still nice and heavy through those ribs and shoulders. You're going to open up like a big T shape. But as you open up into that T, I want you to not let that rib cage collapse. Keep that tummy connected and those ribs heavy into the carriage. This is going to help with all of your shoulder stability and help strengthen up into the shoulders. If we let that rib cage collapse, we're just taking that tension into other parts of the body. So we want to really keep that little finger connected into our mid-back and those ribs nice and heavy. Inhale to open up out to the sides, guys. Exhale to pull it in. One more time. Inhale out and exhale in. Awesome. Let's turn those palms to face back down towards the carriage and simply bend your elbows. We're going to work into those triceps this time. Exhale to press to the sides of the hips. Inhale to draw it back up. Let's really focus on range. If you can manage to keep that nice collarbone shoulder stability, take those hands all the way to the shoulders. Let's really work through that deepest part of the tricep. Let's work it through its full range. And just give me one more there. Inhale to bend and exhale to reach. Lovely. Let's lengthen those hands back up into the ceiling. You're going to exhale to press down. This time we're going to scoop the head and chest up. Inhale and lower back down. So here we're just going to prep the abdominals. We're just getting ready for our 100. So this is just a nice preparation exercise. I want you to really think about where your head and your chest are. We are not forcing the head up here. We're thinking about where the chest bone is and the head is merely following in line. Inhale to take it down and exhale to scoop. If this feels challenging enough for you, you can stick with this exercise. If you want to take it to the next level, let's reach one leg long over that foot bar. Let's really think about keeping that rib to hip connection and lower back down. Exhale to scoop. We are not allowing that pelvis to dip. Okay, for those who want to take it up a next level, we're going to start lengthening both legs out. Again, squeeze those inner thighs, pull your tummy in, guys. Really think about that rib to hip connection. We're scooping. We're using those deeper layer of abdominals here. We're not working in the superficial layer. We're getting really nice and deep. We're working into our deep center line, using those inner thighs, pelvic floor, all the way up through the crown of your head. And just give me one more here. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, little reach and hold. And pulling back in and release. Well done, guys. Let's just have a little twist of those knees side to side. Just releasing off any tension that might be in that lower back. And we're just giving our little hip flexors a little break. Mini break. Okay, so we're going to work into our 100 now. So our 100, the ideal movement is both legs in tabletop. We press the hands down, lift the head and chest into flexion, and long 45 degree. We're going to hold that for 100 beats. Now, your body might not be ready for that movement yet, so we're going to take it step by step. If you need to leave your legs in tabletop, then please do. If you need to lower your head down because you're feeling any tension in your head and neck, please lower your head down, but try and keep your legs long on the 45 degree. Okay, are we ready, guys? We're going to inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. Let's take a nice deep breath in, one leg into tabletop, followed by the other. Deep breath in to prepare, and exhale to flex. Well done, guys. We're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. If you need to bring your knees in, do. If you need to lower your head down, do. We've got 3 to go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a nice deep breath in, bend those knees in, and release it down. Well done, guys. Pop those straps back onto your hooks, and then hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Well done. This time we're going to take the box short. So we're simply going to turn the box short ways in front of the shoulder blocks and push it all the way up to the shoulder blocks. We're also going to add on one more spring, but that's simply for stability of the carriage. Grab hold of your foot strap and come and take a seat on the box, placing your feet underneath your strap. Okay, so we're going to go into our roll backs. Now for our roll back, we're going to think about activating our lower tummy first. So I simply want you to go into what we call your pelvic rock. You're going to rock forwards and backwards on your sitting bones. We're using the lower tummy. So I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Let's place our hands at shoulder height. You're going to exhale and just literally tuck your tailbone under, scooping your belly button in. Inhale to lengthen back up. Exhale to scoop. Feel that activity in your lower part of your tummy. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Think about the sides of your ears growing up to the ceiling. We're growing as tall as we possibly can. Exhale to scoop, just tucking that tailbone. No further just yet, guys. Inhale and lengthen up. You're going to give me one more. Let's make sure we are keeping that lower tummy nice and active. Inhale and lengthen up. Now, we're going to take it into our C-curve. So we're going to tuck our tailbone first, then we're going to draw those ribs in and back as we slightly lean back. So we're not going too far, guys. This is about the depth of this C curve, not how far you can lean over the box. I want you to scoop your belly in. Your rib to hip connection should be as close as you can possibly get it, but we're still keeping that nice long side of the ears. You're keeping it there for a nice deep breath in. Exhale, keep the roundness, so keep that C curve. You're going to come up and over, get a nice stretch all through the back line, so the backs of the legs, lower back and back of the neck, and then carefully stack back up nice and tall. Let's do that again. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, roll off those sitting bones first. Draw those ribs in and back. Nice long sides of the ears. Scoop that rib to that hip. Scoop your belly button into your spine as deeply as you can. Shoulders down, nice and relaxed. Inhale. Exhale, keep that roundness and length as you reach up and over. Stack back up nice and tall. Now, if that feels challenging enough for you guys, you can just keep with the elbows at shoulder height. That's absolutely fine. If you want to add an extra layer, let's reach those hands forwards. Deep breath in. Exhale, roll off those sitting bones, scooping in and back. Rib to hip, scoop that tummy in. Now, lengthen those arms up next to those ears. Rib to hip connection stays stable. Exhale to dive all the way up and over to your toes. Get that nice stretch and stack back up nice and tall. Let's do it again. Exhale to scoop, rib to hip. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to dive all the way up and over. And stack back up nice and tall. Think length through your spine as you come back to that neutral. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale to dive all the way up and over. Stack back up nice and tall. Now you can stick with that, guys, or we can go up another layer. Exhale to scoop, roll it back, rib to hip, nice long back of the neck. Let's take those arms up and then back to shoulder height. And up, keep scooping that tummy in for me, back to shoulder height. And again, let's take it up, let's hold it here, rib to hip, scoop it, go on, hold it for 5 and 4. Keep scooping that belly button in for 3 and 2 and 1. Well done, guys. Reach all the way up and over to those toes and stack back up nice and tall. Awesome work. Now again, you can bring your hands back to shoulder height or keep them up next to the ears this time. We're not going to go into our C curve this time. We're going to add an extra challenge. We're going to keep our spine in neutral. So this is a little bit harder because we've really got to work into the extensors of our spine. We've got to keep the length. Now, simple movement. We're going to lean back, making a nice long line and up nice and tall. This movement does not have to be far. If you are strong enough to take it further, that's absolutely wonderful. But otherwise, don't over-challenge yourself. This is very challenging in a neutral spine. Keep the length. Crown of the head is as tall as you possibly can. And lean, let's hold it. Reach as far as you can. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Well done, guys. Come into that nice forward fold, reaching to those toes and stacking back up nice and tall. Okay, so now we're going to go into our plank series. For our plank series, we want to have either a green or a yellow spring on the carriage. Now, with your plank series and with core, I need you to remember that lighter is harder. So the less resistance you have, the harder it is on your core. So just bear that in mind when you're choosing your springs for this series. Okay, so now we're going to come into our 4-point kneeling position. We're going to have our hands directly beneath our shoulders, knees will be hip distance apart, and our toes will be tucked under in front of the shoulder blocks. We're going to go into scap slides. So we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, keeping the arms straight. We're going to allow the chest to come slightly down towards the reformer, Then we're going to push the shoulder blades wide apart. You might get a nice little stretch in the back of the neck and into the upper back. And then we're going to squeeze them back together. Let's inhale as we lower. Exhale as we press away. I want you to think about the rest of your spine as well as we move these shoulder blades. Let's think about keeping the tummy drawn in, and the rest of your spine should stay nice and neutral. We are not doing the cat stretch here. Our spine stays nice and still. Okay, so let's bring those shoulders to a nice central point. They're going to feel nice and connected through the armpits. Okay, so we're going to start off by prepping the lower abdominals. Your toes are tucking into the carriage. We are not going to move the carriage. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, just hover the knees 1 inch away from that carriage. Lower back down. Reset those shoulders. Have a little think about what happened there across your collarbone as you lifted those knees. Draw your lower belly in. Exhale to hover. Inhale to lower. Tiny movement, guys, but super controlled. Lifting and lowering, focusing not just on those abdominals, but what's happening in our shoulders and our neck. Nice and stable. Now, if this feels challenging enough, you can simply stick with this exercise. It's great for working into your abdominal strength and your shoulder stability. However, if you want to come up to the next level, just make sure your feet are pressing against the shoulder blocks, setting those shoulders. Exhale, hover the knees. Slowly press out your legs. Little pause. Slowly pull them back in. Lower back down. Exhale to hover. Inhale to press. Exhale to slowly pull in. Inhale to release. Exhale to hover. Inhale to press. Squeeze your bottom. Pull your tummy in. Think of a nice long line from your heel to the crown of your head. Bend the knees in. Lower back down. One more time. Exhale, hover. Press away. Pull back in. Lower back down. Now again, if that feels challenging enough, stick with that level with the nice little break in between. However, if you want to take it up a notch, we're going to do that without putting the knees down between. So, exhale and hover. Press away. Inhale in. Exhale, press. Inhale in. Keep thinking about those shoulders, guys. Shoulders and neck. Ribs pulling in. Bottom squeezing. Let's press out and hold it. Let's hold it there for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Well done. Pull those knees in slowly, lower down, and come into a nice child's pose. Okay, so I want you to come into a nice mermaid position. Your sitting bones nice and heavy onto the carriage. Now, ideally, we want to tuck the closest leg to the shoulder block back, and then the other leg is just going to tuck in front. If you are not able to do this movement, you can simply cross your legs in front in a crisscross, or even dangle your legs just off the edge of the reformer, but just make sure you feel comfortable through your pelvis. You're going to have one red spring on the reformer, and your foot bar is going to be set to position 3. Making sure that you're nice and heavy and the ribs are back over the pelvis, we're going to reach the hand closest to the foot bar, just to the very front corner of the foot bar, and we're going to rotate and have a little look behind. Sit really tall through your crown, guys, and just be aware of your hip that's closest to your shoulder blocks. Make sure it stays nice and heavy into that carriage. We're going to deep inhale. And then we're going to rotate, bring that hand to the back of the foot bar, scoop your tummy in, and we're going to push the carriage away. As we do so, we're going to thread that outside arm underneath the foot bar arm. Reaching across, get that nice stretch in the rotation. Deep breath in. Exhale to come back to center. And then inhale to open. And exhale to thread. Inhale, pause and hold. Exhale to open. Inhale. And again, exhale to rotate, thread. Ribs really drawing in and back. We're drawing that belly button into the spine. And opening up and reaching. Really tall through the crown, guys. Shoulders down, tummy pulling in. We're going to place that hand now into the center of the foot bar. We're going to inhale, lengthen the outside arm up. Exhale to reach all the way up and over. Now let's be aware of our shoulder placement. You want your shoulders away from your ears, nice long neck. Keep that closest sitting bone to the shoulder blocks nice and heavy. We're getting that nice stretch through the outside of the body. We're going to inhale, lengthen up, and exhale. Take hold of your front shoulder block. Foot bar hand comes up. Inhale. Exhale to reach all the way up and over. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale, reach, pull those ribs back over your pelvis, guys. Shoulders away, connect underneath your armpits, think length. Inhale up, exhale down. We're going to think length through every part of the body, including those fingertips. So really reach the arms, really reach the fingers. Inhale up and exhale down.